Master Manifester. Today we're talking about rewiring ruminating thoughts and manifestation. So the problem with ruminating thoughts, your intentions require your prefrontal cortex to be able to think about the goals and the outcomes that you want that you don't perceive that you already have in your experience. The rumination starts when your default mode network, your autopilot, it basically starts the overthinking process, you know, the the criticizing, the dwelling on the past, the thinking about the negative things. Because when you try to change something, when you try to change an internal core belief, or you try to change your experience, you activate the survival script. Basically, your amygdala kicks in and it thinks of fight or flight because it's afraid that if you make any changes, that you will be not here anymore. You won't survive. You won't make it. Because so far, everything you've done has kept you alive. And the brain is a prediction program. It wants to predict what happens next to keep you safe and to make you successful in whatever way you unconsciously perceive success. So you have a lot of presets, you have associations with things. And if you try to change those associations, you're going to get pushback from your brain, from your nervous system. It's going to kick back and be like, no, 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 this doesn't seem like a good idea. And then once your thoughts start going on a certain train, oh, this is a bad idea. Oh, I could never have this. Oh, no, I'm not the kind of person who has these sorts of things. Those thoughts get reinforced by the sensations of emotions in your body, which reinforce the thoughts, which reinforce the emotions. The emotion itself, just the sensation, if you were to sit with it, would not last more than, a minute to a couple of minutes with, intense emotions. But if they get triggered by the thoughts, they keep going and they keep going and they just feed off of each other. And then you end up in emotional spirals. So your reticular activating system is the filter and your default mode network is the autopilot. The RAS, the reticular activating system, there's too much information in the field for you to take in everything. So it only takes in that which is important. And it's really valuable to understand that what you're experiencing is not the actual physical reality. You're experiencing an interpretation. Your brain's inside your head. It's just got your eyes and your body and your other senses to try to guess and determine what's going on. And it fills in the gaps of information. So recognizing the patterns of your behavior, it helps you find these sort of loops, right? And there's a lot of patterns in thoughts. We have very similar thoughts over and over again most of the time. And they just sort of run in the background, and particularly ruminations that cause intense emotions can use up a lot of energy in the background. There's always some sort of, underlying unconscious rumination, but the ones that are really triggering are kicking in your nervous system. That takes a lot of energy to go into fight or flight and then to try to relax and then go into fight or flight. And you need that energy to be rewiring your neurons, your neural pathways to the new identity for your manifestation so that it can come through, so that you can perceive it in your reality. So you have to consciously reprogramming the filter for always looking for evidence that you already have the experience that you want to have in some way, or that it is very available in your environment. This gets you out of like that scarcity mindset and that scarcity thinking. And then grounding your awareness in your body, in the moment, and realizing that everything is fine, that you are perfectly safe to be right where you are. And it's perfectly safe to be in your manifestation throughout your story. Just remember, your story keeps going. You get the outcome, and then the story keeps going, right? It's not the end of the story. It is not happily ever after. It is the beginning of a new program. We are systems run by programs that are primarily automated, almost 100% automated. But if you can get in that observer state, you can change the level of automation. You can change the programming so that the story can be more of what you want to experience. And you can't really think your way out of a thinking problem. You need to feel through it and recognize and just look at the thoughts and feelings. Let them be there and just notice them. The noticing breaks the pattern. The pause, perfecting the pause, breaks the old pattern because you're not reacting to it. You're just like, okay, it's just here. And it may not feel good. In fact, a lot of the time it won't. But that's okay because you're sitting with the discomfort instead of getting lost in your character and getting trapped in the loop of your character getting triggered by whatever, this thing is you feel like you don't have or that you can't have or that is, not working for you in your life experience. So using a lot of physically grounding exercises, focusing on your feet, um, maybe drink some water. I mean, even those little things will start focusing you on being here and now instead of getting trapped in your thoughts. And this takes practice. If you've been in a program of ruminating thoughts, like most of your life, like a lot of people have, almost all of us, been in the ruminating thoughts because we're constantly faced with so many stressors from our environment, right? So it gets stuck in these survival scripts just over and over and over again. Well, taking the time to stop, notice that it's running. This is the biggest part. Noticing that it's running. And then just hold, perfect that pause, and then breathe slow and deep to let everything get back into your body. Focus on your hands, on your feet, on your chest, on the sensations that you're feeling, on your heart, be in the moment. Let it be there. Don't fight it. Don't try to push it down. Don't be like, oh, this means I'm bad and I'm not manifesting right. No, you are doing it exactly right because you noticed. It is the noticing that clears out these old patterns. So I hope this has helped you to understand a little bit more about how the brain and body create ruminating thoughts, how they're affecting your manifestation, and how to break those patterns so you can initiate the new programming because you can't just shove the new programming in there. It's just chaos. It just won't, your system won't tolerate it. It wants stability. So you need to let those old programs be there, witness them, and then actively choose to pay attention to new things, small things, little things. Pay attention to having, $5. If you want a lot of money, pay attention to having $5, right? It doesn't matter how much it is, just the fact that you have it, you know that you can get more money. If you want love and romance, pay attention to your capacity for being loving to yourself, for being loving to others in any sense because all relationships are foundational in the same thing. You just have different rituals and programs for them. But it is about the connection and about the systems working cohesively together. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and sign up for the Method Muse newsletter in the description below.